So today we're going to talk about advanced visual design techniques. And previously we've talked about introduction to UI. We know what UI and UX stands for, what they actually do, what comes first, the principles behind both of them. And then we talked about, and I told you guys that UX comes before UI. And I told you, okay, as a UI UX designer, these are the things or these are the steps you're going to follow. And we say we are going to carry out a research. You need to carry out a research on a product you are working on. Then what again did we talk about? We talked about the introduction to wireframe and then flowcharts, where we carry out, we know the types of wireframe and types of types of wireframe. We talked about the low fidelity, the mid fidelity, the high fidelity. We also looked about flow charts. What does flow chart actually means? And we talked about, or we discussed about the symbols behind the flowchart diagram, what it stands for. And then we talked about prototyping, which comes immediately after the wireframe, either your low fidelity, either your mid fidelity, or your high frame or high fidelity. So all these things are things that are done behind the scene. That is the UX part. And now we are done with the UX part. And now we are moving to the UI part. Because I told you guys, I use someone who is actually building a house. When you own a land, you have to get a survey, know where the direction your house is going to face, lay the foundation, then start building, get to the top roof, the window, the door. That the UI is all those nice, the design of louvers or whatever you want to use, the design of the door, the painting, the furniture inside. So those things are the UI. So we are done with the UX and now we've moved into the UI part of it. So today we'll be talking about the advanced visual design techniques. What is this advanced? What does it look like? Now, UI design or user interface design is about creating an interactive experience through an interface with clear and simple choice for the user. It revolves around the proper placement of a text field, radio button, slider, icon, tags, notification, menu bar, messages box, modal, search field, toggles, footer, list, name them. So all those elements you are seeing in your UI, those are visual designs, those things you are seeing. So that is what the visual design actually means. All these elements directly impact the user's interaction and overall experience. So I believe you actually know what is this advanced UI design techniques. Now, this all these things, all these elements that I just named it helps to make your user have nice interaction and good experience at the same time. A good user interface makes it easier, makes its users feel more at ease, learn faster, and gain mystery over the product quickly. As a UI design or as a UX UI designer, you investigate all possible interactions and behaviors of all the users with a product to create a prototype that adapts to their needs. Okay. Now it is tough without a guideline. Now, yes, we all know that you've carried out your UX research, you've gotten what you want, you've pushed the prototype for user to test to navigate or play around or interact with that product you did on Figma, and then you have all the positive feedback. Now, there is a problem once you just look at that and then start implementing without having a correct functional it is going to be very, very difficult. What this means is, like, I know we've seen a lot of design where I know you've heard of something called design system style guide. Now you've heard of style guide. Now let's use the word style and guide. You know that style is something, style guide is something that okay, is a style, is a pattern. Okay, so all these things I'm going to use now, this is the style I'm going to use. Now, what is guide? Guide is something that is going to direct you as you're walking. You get? So that is what it means. It is tough to figure out UI functionality without a guideline. You may cripple with the decision making on the order of elements on the interface. Now, this is what it means. And like, now let's see what it means now. Now, for when a task is given to you guys, okay, Angela and Angela and Joseph, they should they've done the wireframe. Now, I don't know the pattern of, or I don't know the pattern of a button you all use. Now, for us, I don't know the pattern, and I use straight button. Some people might use short button. Some people might use long button. Now, all these things are the pattern and that you are going to create, like a guide you're going to create. You get? Now, so this is something that you need it. Okay, if I'm going to create this thing, I need to have this thing as a guide, so that all is what it means. And list the numbers of form you need to create. Now, what are the numbers of form I need to create? You may have to decide on a future replacement. Now, size of button, and you get, so this thing are something that you need to say, okay, all the size of button, this is how I want all the size of my button to be, or the long button and or short button. Very curvy, I want it to just be straight. Now for the topography, okay, this is the font you guys did. Now we have everybody use different fonts. Now let's say somebody use Inter. During our class last week, I used Urban List. There are some use Red Hat. A lot of people use different fonts. So this is like a guide where you need to have the size of font sizes, width, you get, then the color you are using. Now when we start, so when we start doing the high fidelity, we will now with red color, and she's going to tell me all the color that is matched to the red color she's gray, maybe the lighter shade of red, maybe the darker. I'm using purple, it's going to show me the shade of purple and all. So that is what it means. And then the size of your input field, the icon you are using, the size of the image. And so you're going to just align them together. Now, the design and the development of any UI prototype is not an easy ordeal. You need to understand the UI design techniques to create stable, comprehended, and easy to operate. You get? So now this UI design technique, you just like when we said if you don't create your flow chart before doing your wireframe, you are going to issues, a lot of challenges, some screens or some things are going to be applies for a UI. If you don't have your guide, if you don't have your style guide, you will not know. Like, let's say if you don't have your Nkiru and Joseph are actually two designers that wants to collaborate together. Nkiru has already started the project. Now the project is like, and Nkiru has already started the product or project for about 1 week, and then Joseph comes on the call or wants to collaborate or going to collaborate with her. The first thing he's going to ask as a designer is, can I see your style guide? So that is the first thing he's going to see, where he's going to know, okay, the font choice Nkiru is using, the button size she's using, the color she's using, the input field she's using, the icons she's using, the style of whatsoever element she's actually using in a UI design. So that is the first thing Joseph is going to ask as a UI designer. So once he's done looking at it on Figma, and then he can now proceed and say, can I see your flow chart? And once he's done, then it is easy for him as a UI from where Nkiru stop, or both of them can actually continue. Okay, after overview, you get. So that is what it actually means. Now, advanced visual design techniques encompass a range of strategies used to create table design across various mediums such as graphics design, whatever flyer, presentation, whatever design you are creating, you need this guide. Okay, it's not only meant for a UI designers. Right? Yes, you need it. If you want to create a graphic design, you need it. A flyer, you need it. Whatever thing you want to create, as long as actually need it. Now, I listed out some of the advanced techniques that I know that are very, very important. So we are going to talk about them one after the other. Now, the first one we have is the topography mystery. We all know what is topography, the font you are using. Now, what does it do? It plays a crucial role in the UI design, not only for conveying information, but also setting the tone, guiding the user, and enhancing usability. You don't want to create a font that is going to be very horror, like when those of us that watch horror movie, when you see fonts like it's blood and all and the roads, I'm going to get you, or stuff like that. You don't want to use that kind of font on your UI design. You don't want to scare your users. Now, if you watch the Telegram that we all have been using, or our social media platform, or whatever app, whatever site you visit, that you know that you continually or frequently visit, you can see that the write-up, the font text is visible enough. It pass the right information, and it is clear. You can actually read, you can actually see. Now, from like some of us that I told last time that I am this kind of person, I use glass, but I don't use it frequently. Now, let's assume that I am someone who uses glasses frequently. Okay, I can. If you actually design a stuff for me, even with or without my glasses, I should be able to see that. Okay, let's say without my glasses, I should be able to see that this font on this particular site or the design is clear. Even if I cannot see the write up, it should be clear enough. Then when I put my glasses, then I can now read through. Now, same thing for those people that use without glasses. It should be clear enough, it should be visible enough. Now, when we did the first task I gave to you guys, when we did create a profile about yourself, that I did my own, and I said you guys should replicate my own to create your own. Now you can see that everybody used their font choice they like, and the text was visible enough. I didn't drop any comments for anyone saying, oh, this is your text, I can't read through, this thing is too tiny. I did not even complain about the enough. Okay, so your text must play a very crucial role in the UI. It passes information and enhance usability. Mystery of topography in UI involves more than just choosing the understanding how topography interacts with other UI elements to create experience. Now, let me give you an example. On your button, sign up, sign in, log. Now, this button you are looking at, you're not just going to put button like that. Now, I have picked this font that is visible enough. Is it visible enough when it's being placed inside any shape to create a button where you can type, let's say, where you can type your first name, your last name, maybe short test, you're applying for a job, why do you need this rule, and then you are typing. So all those things, boxes, is what. Now, it's about understanding how topography interacts with UI element. The button, for instance, the input field. Now you need to say, okay, this font choice I'm using, now this choice that's visible enough, does it fit in inside this element? So that is what typography mastery plays. Like it's a crucial, like it is a great role. It plays a great role as one of the advanced visual design techniques. Now this is an example of or font family of poppins, and now this is what it means. Now you know when to place this particular big text. You know when to place this particular the third one and then the fourth one. So when you are designing now for our on body screen and the home page and the authentication, you can tell that I use the right font width for the sizes, like know when to place this big text, know when to place this small text. Okay. Now the second one we have is grid system and layout. Grid system and layout serves as a backbone of visual design, providing the structure and rhythms to compositions across various digital interface. Mystery of grid system and layout involves understanding advanced principles and techniques to create a visual, compelling and functional design. Now, what this actually means is on your design. Now, last time we did what did we do? We did something that we used ruler to create the spacing between the left hand side and the spacing between the right hand side. Now this is what it actually means. Now let's say your design you created, you want your space between the left hand side and the space between the right hand side to be the same thing. For instance, now I know you can see my cursor. So for on this particular place, you want to be the same thing. Now let's give an instance where we have this text, all this text, it was up to here, above and the space below to be equal. So that is what grid system and layout actually plays. And it consists of lines, columns and row to accommodate very and then maintain harmony across all side screen. You are designing for a mobile, you need it. You are designing for a web tablet, you need it. And you are designing for a watch, you need it. Even if it's not a mobile design, even if it's a flyer, you need it. Even if it's a presentation of your design, you actually need it. So it plays a crucial role. Like it serves as a backbone for your visual designs. Now, this is what it actually means. Now, I know you all have come across this. Now, this is, let's say this is a screen width. Let's say this is for a web desktop. Now, you want to design, let's say I gave you a task, go and recreate Jumia landing page, and then you click your desktop screen. Now, this is what it means. From here to here, you have the screen width. And now here is the margin. The space between the left and the right is actually the same thing because you have used column to demarcate it. And then this is what the column width from here to here. And then you have the gutter. So the gutter is the space, this white line inside. So that is what it means. Okay. Now, the next one we have is color theory and palette. Everybody know what is color. You don't want to use a color that is going to blind your people, your users. You don't want to use baby pink and gray color together. Let's say we have the baby pink, okay, let's say baby pink and white, because I know this color, if you use baby pink as a button and you use white color as enough. Okay, now just like this our design, we have a dark green color and then we have a white background. The text is visible enough, white or black. You will see that most people will struggle to read the text. Even people with glass or without glasses, they are going to struggle to read the text. So you don't want to use color that is not visible enough. Okay. Now, color theory and palette are foundational elements in visual design, influencing the mode and communication within a design. Advanced understanding of color theory involves diving into concepts such as color psychology, which explore how different colors evokes specific emotion. Designers can select color based on the psychological impacts to invoke desire is creating a sense of calmness with cool tone or energy or inciting with warm hums. Color theory encompasses the study of color relationship, including the tragic color schemes. By mastering these elements, designers can create visual harmonious color palettes that enhance readability, hierarchy, and visual appealing with their design. So if you are using, let's say you're using dark shade of pink and um brown, darker shade of brown, you can see, if you can imagine the color, or you are very very good with color, if you place these two color on your Figma, you see that it's going to not give that calmness. It's going to be like the tone is going to be very very high. It's not going to give you a calm tone. It's going to be very very high. Now let's say someone is using pink. Let's say someone is using this shade of yellow, and then you have a white text in it. You see that I'm going to struggle to read the white text inside this yellow background. You can see that the whole color on this particular slide, it actually fits it together. Now we have the gray color that gave this design. We have another shade of gray here. We have the yellow, we have the green, and we have the white. You can see that as all these things are here together, it actually match. It actually fits. It's giving this cool slide. It's very, very calm. Okay. Now, this is an example of what it actually means. Now, we have the secondary colors. Let's say secondary colors, and then we have the primary color. Now, what is primary color and secondary color? Primary color is the main color of your project. Let's say, for example, I said, everybody, oh yeah, you are done with your mid fidelity, or yeah, change your mid fidelity to high fidelity, and then add the colors. Now say, okay, go and add the colors. Let's send your design to the developers. You see that, and I said the color we are using, and they said the color we are using is color green. Now, and then I will give you some secondary color. Now you'll be wondering what the secondary color are. Secondary color are color that can actually fit in with your primary color. They are called asset color or secondary colors. It is not color you're going to use frequently in your design. It is just color you just say, okay, I'm designing a landing page. Let me add this touch. Let me add this color. Let me just like let's give it the background color this way. Now let's look at this, our slide. Our color, everybody know our color is the green and the gray. We already know we have white and black. And now this yellow color is like the secondary color. It's just like the assets, just a two color. This yellow actually fits in. So that is what it means. And then we have the gray color. Yeah, this is going to be gray. Or let's say we don't want this text to be visible enough, maybe until when they feel or when they click the button on this particular screen, that's when the text is going to be visible. Gray color, and then your dark color. Like now you're doing the mid fidelity and the high fidelity. You are going to use your gray, your lighter shade of gray. You get where you're drawing down your box, or where you're just going to show that, okay, and the lighter shade of gray. And then when you are done doing the high fidelity, you will not use the lighter shade of gray. You will not use. So that is what the color means. So you're going to use a color that gives meaning to your UI. For those people using dark mode Telegram, it is actually cool. It gives this calmness. Same thing with Twitter, same thing with WhatsApp, same thing with LinkedIn. So these are the apps I use frequently that I enjoy the dark mode. It gives calmness. is not too bright, the text inside are visible enough. Now we have the next one, which is the illustration and iconography. Now, what does this thing mean? Everybody know what is illustration, the 3D. Now, when we were using Figma as our slide, in
Ma, we can't hear you. Ma, we can't hear you.